as Russia continues to pound civilian targets in Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities and towns. State Department officials have been careful not to label the attacks as war crimes, saying documentation and investigation are needed. U.S. Ambassador Beth Van Schaack is focused on global criminal justice. She was confirmed by the Senate last week and had an important announcement to make on her second day on the job. She said a careful review has now taken place.
Earlier today, Secretary Blinken issued a statement announcing that based on information that is currently available, the U.S. government assesses that Russia's forces are committing war crimes in Ukraine.
Van Schaack said the U.S. and its partners have been shocked by images of Russian forces and airstrikes hitting civilian sites in Mariupol, including the maternity hospital, a museum, and an art school. Reporters asked her if the war crimes assessment also applies to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Van Schaack had this to say.
And as you mentioned, there is a chain of command when it comes to a military like the Russian military. And doctrinally, we're able to hold responsible under international law those who are directly responsible, those who might be complicit, or otherwise engaged in some sort of a joint criminal enterprise with the perpetrators.
Despite videos showing Ukrainian hospitals and public facilities being bombed, Russia has denied that it deliberately targeted civilians. U.S. officials say accountability will ultimately depend on the judgment of a court that has jurisdiction. Speaking at the United States Institute of Peace, Ukraine's ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova, remembered the first Nazi concentration camp created in March 1933 near Munich.
And unfortunately, today the history repeats itself. And today, again, in the center of Europe, now in Ukraine, we are talking about atrocities, about genocide, about war crimes and crimes against humanity.
An expert in international law, Jane Stromseth, said the International Criminal Court has started an investigation in Ukraine.
As the ambassador mentioned, the ICC prosecutor has started an investigation, sent a team of investigators to Ukraine, has himself personally been to Ukraine, spoken with Ukrainian officials, including President Zelensky.
President Joe Biden is likely to discuss Russian war crimes in Ukraine with NATO partners and others in Brussels. Estonia, Lithuania, Germany, Poland, Slovakia, and Sweden are all investigating potential war crimes in Ukraine, seeking to preserve evidence for future accountability. Cindy Saine, VOA News.